250 Gemstones culture represents a nation of people that strive for excellence and greatness every single day. We are more than journalism. We are a revolution. Come on, let's kick this door down and let everybody know we up in here. Welcome to the 250 Gemstones News TV channel. I am your host, Michael T. Porter, and I'm bringing the news to your ass like no other. This is a channel that represents a nation of people that strive for excellence and greatness every single day. I have another bomb news segment for y'all, but before I begin, y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, hit that notification bell so you know when I am dropping. Also, if you like to support your boy, support the mission, support the movement, Cash App, $ Michael U.S. is gonna be right here. It's gonna be right here. So you don't forget. I gotta get that Skrilla. Oh man, there's a certain group out there that says that racism has never existed in the United States. Can y'all believe this mess? Can y'all believe this crap? And a lot of them are black people. We are living in insane times. This is a story of Emmett Till. Now I heard about Emmett Till. This is my first time, not first time, but well, I guess it's my first time actually diving deep into it, and the way the white folks treated that boy lets you know how evil racism can go, how far racism can take a soul into the depths of hatred. Let's get some drum roll action. They beat this boy up, and Emmett Till, his murderers were acquitted by an all-white jury within 67 minutes, a little bit over an hour. It only took them a little bit over an hour to conclude that these four animals were not guilty. Let's get some drum. This is according to calendar.eji. If you guys want to check out the article, eji.org. Hold on, EJI. It'll be easier for y'all to find. Hold on. It's there's something injustice. Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. Come on. Well, y'all can just look it up. I know it stands for something unjust. I know the I for injustice. But look at these white folk right here. Look at these white folks right here. Let's look at the story of Emmett Till. I ain't going to show the body because his body was just absolutely, it was horrific what these animals did. September 23rd, 1955, all-white jury acquits white men who murdered 14-year-old Emmett Till. On September 23rd, 1955, an all-white jury in Tallahatchie County, Mississippi, acquitted Roy Bryant and John Millam, the two white men who murdered Emmett Till, a 14-year-old black boy, despite the fact that black citizens comprised of over 63% of Tallahatchie County's population. Not a single black person served on the jury. Under the state's law, only registered voters qualified as jurors, and not one black citizen in Tallahatchie County was able to register to vote at the time. During the summer of 1955, Emmett Till traveled from Chicago to Mississippi to visit his family. One day, Emmett and a group of friends and cousins went to a local store to buy candy. Emmett was later accused of acting familiar with the young white female storekeeper Carolyn Bryant. In response, Roy Bryant, Carolyn's husband, and John Millam, Mr. Bryant's half-brother, abducted Emmett from his great-uncle's home. Now, how did this happen? First of all, I never understood how did they even get Emmett out of his home. The men drove Emmett to a storage shed in Millam's property in Drew, Mississippi, where they took turns torturing and beating him with the pistol before forcing him to load a 74-pound fan into the back of their pickup truck. The men then drove Emmett to the edge of the Tallahatchie River, ordered him to remove his clothes. Now, why he got to remove his clothes? They always been doing this gay ass weird stuff You know that with a lot of them Europeans, this in their bloodline to rape and touch children and stuff like that. I mean, you already beat the boy up. Why he gotta take off his clothes? Why, when niggas go to jail, we gotta take off our damn clothes? Why are they so infatuated with black men taking off their damn clothes? And then they shot Emmett Till in the head. Once the child was dead, Bryant and Millam chained the fan to his corpse and rolled it into the river. So they made sure he drowned. This is horrific. At trial, several black witnesses bravely testified for the state against Mr. Bryan and Mr. Millam, despite threats on their life if they dared to testify, including Mose Wright, who testified that Mr. Bryan and Mr. Millam were the men that took Emmett Till from his home. Emmett's mother, Mammy Bradley, also courageously traveled from Chicago to attend the trial and identify her son's body. So before they could even go to trial, the witnesses were being threatened. The witnesses are being threatened. This is the type of stuff that they're trying to erase right now. Sorry, you got to know your history. Mrs. Bryant testified as well, describing the alleged harassment, including a man trying to hold her hand and whistle at her, and identifying a person responsible as a black man, but refusing to identify Emmett by name, and then asking the jury to acquit. Defense lawyers called the state's theory of motive illogical, despite the fact that white mobs in the South had murdered hundreds of black men accused of similar conduct with little to no evidence of guilt. Man, this is crazy. Lawyers for the defense and the prosecution appealed to white juries' commitment to racial hierarchy. Defense lawyer John Whitten accused civil rights groups of planting Emmett's body in the river as a challenge to the Southern way of life. Look at these folks. Look how they try to cover up this murder with these wild theories. District Attorney Gerald Chatham told the jury that Emmett deserved punishment for insulting white womanhood, but argued that Mr. Bryan should have limited his vengeance to beating him with a razor strap. The jury only deliberated 67 minutes before returning a verdict of not guilty. One juror later said, we wouldn't have taken so long if we hadn't stopped to drink pop. Can y'all believe that? They're laughing. And these are the let's see, J.W. Millam and Roy Bryant celebrate the acquittal with their wives. So I don't know which one's which, but look how evil these folks are. Look how evil these folks are. Look how evil they are. How do you even sleep at night knowing that you stripped a black boy from his home, stripped him naked, put a 74-pound fan around his neck, shot him in the head, beat him for hours, and then threw him in the river? They got cigars. They're laughing about it. And then there's a certain group out there that's saying that America was never racist. Can y'all believe that? It's all in our mind. They're saying that it's all in our mind. Just a few months later, we got more. Look magazine reportedly paid $4,000 to Mr. Millam and Mr. Bryan for their confessions. In a story published by the magazine on January 24th, 1956, Mr. Millam and Mr. Bryan geographically described their abduction of Emmett Till from his uncle's home, admitting that they pistol whipped him, forced him to disrobe, tied a heavy cotton gin fan around his neck with barbed wire, shot him, and dumped his body in the Tallahatchie River. The shocking story of approved killing in Mississippi. Woo! So a year later, they confess. So I wonder if they got time. Hold on, y'all. Did they do some time? Also, so even after the confession, they never did time. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. They never did time. Let's see. Recanting her testimony that the boy had made advances on her, she subsequently told the FBI she had not recanted. In 2021, the case was again closed without any new charges. So nobody got charged. That heifer is just lying. She's the worst of the worst. Just a disgusting piece of trash. I think it's I don't know which one's which, but they are. This is absolutely horrible, y'all. And bring these stories up because I like going back in history. I'm just a fan of history, and nothing's really changed in America. There's when you have politicians, neither political party is going to help black folk. We are on our own, and you just have to make that decision within yourself. What you gonna do? What you gonna do to get yourself out of the situation? Because sometimes in life, playing nice with people just don't work. Sometimes brutality is the only thing that some people understand, and brutality is what's needed. I don't know if I can live in those times because my rage, my anger, I was like, it is what it is. And it has to come to a point. We gonna kill as many of our enemies as we can before they get us. Because you look out in the world, what's going on in the black community, and there's good and bad in every community, but it's big business in black America. It's big business in America to put down black folks, to shine the light on the worst of us. Once again, it is big business in America to shine the light on the worst of the worst of us. And it's just crazy. Now, my thing is, how did the killers were even able to get him out of his home? How did Emmett Till, how do you, I wonder how the uncle allowed these white men, you ain't taking my nephew. Oh, we gonna scrap right now. I'm ready to die right now. And I'm wondering, why didn't black folks man up and get together and push back? Why? I'm trying to figure out, if we under siege like this and we know that our life is living hell, just like right now, why we have just never gotten together. And you got to bring these stories up to show that there's a certain group out there that refuse to take accountability, or not even take accountability, to refuse to acknowledge what really happened. There's people out there that say slavery was a good thing. This was going on after slavery, so you can imagine how slavery really was. Being chained up, being stripped from your family, having no rights. This is absolutely disgusting. They treat black folks. This been like this since the 50s, since we first got here. Animals get treated better than black folks over here. In most instances, animals get treated better than black folk over here. You just look at how they just left. Oh, we would have. She said the deliberation would have been shorter if we wouldn't have gotten some pop. They said because they went to go drink some soda, that's what prolonged the deliberation. Instead of 67 minutes, she pretty much saying it only would have took us about 30, maybe 40 minutes tops to give the verdict of not guilty. J.W. Millam and Bryant. She's saying that it wouldn't have took them that long, meaning we were going to get these people off no matter what. She's saying that their lives don't mean anything to us. We're going to make sure we wouldn't have taken so long if we hadn't stopped to drink pop. And look at the arrogance in this time. Look how arrogant these people are. The cops are on their side. This is European mindset. This is a Caesar mindset. Either you're gonna be with these folks or not. They believe that they're superior in education, and when you talk about justice, you talk about real estate. But my question is to the black man, and this is why they call you boy. Men don't allow these things. See, a man, you have to first you gotta get right with God. Like, God, I'm ready to die, but I'm going to do some great harm to these two because they put the fear of God into black men first through the legal system. If the cops on the white folks side, if the judge is on the white folks side, the jury's on the white folks side, the prison itself is on the white folks side, you're boxed in. And black folks did their best to stay away from white folks, and white folks were bringing them in. You know, it's one thing when two people clash, but black men do not act like men. There's no way that he's going to be alive after what he did to my son. There's no way. For me, there's no way you're going to be alive or at least get touched up because the black man has been taught to fear this system. The black man has become this is why they call you boy, because in the world of men, brutality is necessary. In the world of men, in this world, you know, we have a world that God talks about love and kindness, but not all the time. Because these people are demons. They did the most horrific thing to this 14-year-old boy, and the uncle need his ass whooped too. How did you give your nephew over to these demons? And they're celebrating. They're celebrating the verdict. They're celebrating the fact that they're still, this solidifies their superiority to all races, but especially black folk. This solidifies their way of life. These people are evil. And there's people that are saying that slavery was a good thing for black folk. Slavery was a good thing for white folks. What I'm saying is, no matter what race you are, as a man, there's a time for war and there's a time for peace. That was not a time to be peaceful. I'm sorry. Heads gonna have to get rolled. Somebody gonna have to get killed around here. Somebody gonna have to get put in the dirt. If it's white, it's fine. Because here's the thing: black men had access to guns back then too. I found that out. So I don't know why black men disallowed this type of treatment to happen. I wasn't there, and even today, it's like we refuse to come together. Not just see when they come together, not for no kumbaya. I'm talking about come together and get shit done. Start building. Get more guns, more military. Not more military. Get more artillery. More education, more infrastructure, and we own it. More businesses, more land, more real estate. We're moving as a unit, as many. If anybody come touch one of our babies, you're going to get handled. It's just that simple. It doesn't necessarily have to mean murder, but anybody touching our black children, our black women, or our black men, you touching anything that's black, you're going to get dealt with. I don't give a damn about the law. The cops, we're going to find out where them cops live too. You have to send a message that we're willing to do this. Blood going to have to get shed. And that's what I'm starting to learn through life. And even in my personal experiences, there's a time for war. There's a time for peace. You can't, both of these extremes will get you killed. Meaning King Solomon in the Bible is saying you can't be holy all the time. And you can't be, acting a fool and vengeful and brutal all the time. There has to be some type of balance. But the older folks, y'all let me know, or people who maybe been around it, why didn't black men push back and get violent with these folks back then? Y'all give me, I'm always willing to learn. But now black men, just as worse as the black men back then, still ain't sticking together. There's a problem with the American system. There's a problem with black folk, how we operate. But we got to get it together, black folk. Get right with God, Christ, Holy Spirit, Get down in that Bible and stick together. We gotta stick together, man. Nobody's coming to help. Both these political parties suck. Uh, Neither party is gonna help. They made it emphatically clear. They made it absolutely clear nobody's coming to help us. We have to help ourselves. And or if we want to get it done, if especially black men are serious about getting it done, we got to put our money where our mouth is, get our weapons together, educate ourselves, and don't be afraid to put yourself first. Black men, this is a message to black people, especially black men, because we are the foundation of the families. Don't ever let the world trick you or play mind games or guilt you for putting yourself first. First in artillery, first in combat, first in education, first in economics, because every other race is doing the exact same thing. They want to be the number one. They want that number one spot. Don't believe me? Look at the news. Look how all the rest of the world is advancing. Look at how even in America, as diverse as America is, they looking out. Nobody's coming over here to America to help black folk. You know what they're doing? They come over here so their children and grandchildren can have a what? Better life. But y'all flood my comments. Black folk, white folk, Asian. What y'all think about this story? What y'all think about this? The lack of compassion they have for Emmett Till. The lack of compassion, the lack of humanity they have shown. These grown men have shown to Emmett Till. What a horrific story. Y'all let me know what's really going on out there. Those of you that have been rocking with me since day one, I appreciate y'all. Those of you who just found the channel, I appreciate y'all too. We all family. I can talk to you. When you got the truth, baby, you can talk. I can talk to anybody. Let me know. 250 capital G. I'm gone.